Picture this. It's late at night. The room is lit only by the glow of a screen. Someone just finished editing their newest video. Hours of filming, re-recording lines, fixing audio, choosing the perfect thumbnail. Their finger hovers over one button. Upload. They press it, and then they wait. An hour goes by. 14 views. 3 of them are family. One is probably themselves, refreshing the page. Now imagine that exact feeling, repeated every single week for 2 years straight. 200 videos, 200 uploads into the void, 200 quiet disappointments. This is the story of a creator who failed 200 times, and what they finally did on the 201st attempt, the one that changed everything. Stick with me, because the lesson in this story isn't what you think it is. It's not never give up. It's something far more uncomfortable and far more useful. Every creator's journey begins the same way, with a spark. For our creator, it was a feeling, that electric, can't-sleep excitement of imagining something they could build. They'd watched their favorite channels for years and thought, I can do this too. I have something to say. So they scraped together what they had: a cheap microphone, a second-hand camera, or maybe just a phone propped up on a stack of books, a corner of a bedroom with a bedsheet taped to the wall as a backdrop. And they made a promise to themselves, the same promise almost every beginner makes: I'm going to make something people love. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to make it. That first video, 14 views. But they weren't discouraged, not yet. Because everyone knows the beginning is slow. Every big creator has that origin story. I had no views for my first year, so they told themselves the magic words that keep so many people going. It's early. Just keep going. The algorithm will notice eventually. And so, they kept their promise. They showed up. Week after week, the videos went up. They did everything right, or at least everything they were told was right. They studied the creators who blew up. They copied the thumbnail styles that were working. They wrote the clickbait titles everyone swore by. They chased trends, jumped on every viral sound, every hot topic, every format the gurus promised would beat the algorithm. They consumed every how to grow on YouTube video out there. They took notes. They followed the formulas to the letter. And the result? 50 views, then 30, then a video that somehow only got 9. Month after month, the line on their analytics page stayed flat. A heartbeat monitor with no heartbeat. Here's what nobody tells you about this stage. It's not the failure that breaks you. It's the hope. Because every single week, you let yourself believe this might be the one, this video, this idea. And every week, the silence answers back. That cycle, hope, effort, silence, repeat, it wears you down in a way that pure failure never could. By the second year, the spark was gone. Editing, which used to feel like creating, now felt like a chore. Filming felt like talking to no one, because, well, they basically were. Hitting upload no longer felt exciting. It felt like dropping a coin into a well so deep you never even hear it hit the bottom. The comment section stayed empty. The subscriber count crept up by 1s and 2s, then stalled completely. And that's when the real enemy showed up. Not the algorithm, not the competition, the voice inside their own head. Maybe you're just not talented enough. Maybe the people who make it are just built different. Maybe everyone who said, follow your passion lied to you. Maybe it's time to grow up and quit. And honestly, they almost did. They sat down, looked at 2 years of work that the world had ignored, and came within one single decision of deleting the channel and walking away forever. If you've ever stood at that edge, with anything, not just a channel, you know exactly how heavy that moment feels. But before they quit, something stopped them. Instead of asking the question they'd asked 1,000 times, how do I get more views? They finally asked a different one, a harder one. A question that actually hurt to sit with. In 200 videos, have I ever once truly tried to help a single person? Or have I just been trying to go viral? And in the silence after that question, the truth landed like a punch. For 2 years, they hadn't been creating. They'd been imitating. copying what worked for other people, chasing trends that had nothing to do with them, performing a fake, polished version of themselves they thought the algorithm wanted to see. They had never, not once, made a video that came from something they actually knew, for a real person, about a real problem. They'd been so obsessed with being seen that they completely forgot to be useful. That realization changed everything, because now they weren't asking how to beat a machine, they were asking how to help a human. So they threw the formula in the trash. The 201st video had no trending sound, no flashy gimmick, no desperate clickbait. It was simple, it was honest, it was just them, talking plainly about something they genuinely understood, solving one real problem for one specific kind of person. It was, in fact, the exact video they wished someone had made for them back when they were a lost, struggling beginner. They hit upload. But this time, the feeling was different. They weren't praying for it to go viral. For the first time in a long time, they were just proud of what they'd made. Now, I want to be honest with you because this isn't a fairy tale. That video did not explode overnight. There were no fireworks, no millions of views by morning. But something was different. The comments weren't empty anymore. Real people wrote real things. This is exactly what I needed today. Nobody else explains it like this. Wait, why don't you have way more subscribers? And then the thing that hadn't happened in 2 years finally happened. People started sharing it, not because they were begged to, but because the video had genuinely helped them, and that made them want to help someone else. That one honest video became a foundation. The next video helped a few more people. The one after that, a few thousand. Each piece of content was built on the same new principle. Don't perform, serve. And the channel that took 2 years to scrape together 50 real fans found 50,000 in a fraction of that time. Not because the algorithm suddenly decided to be kind, but because the creator finally changed what they were feeding it. They stopped offering noise, they started offering value. And value, it turns out, is the one thing the internet can't get enough of. Now, here's where most motivation videos would tell you the moral is never give up. But that's not the lesson. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. This creator did persist. For 2 years, they never missed a week, and it got them almost nowhere. Persistence alone isn't the magic. Persistence pointed in the wrong direction just digs a deeper hole. You can spend years working incredibly hard at completely the wrong thing. The real breakthrough didn't come from trying harder. It came from being brave enough to stop and ask, what am I actually doing wrong? It came from honesty, from self-reflection, from the courage to admit that 2 years of effort had been aimed at the wrong target. Think of it this way. Persistence gets you to the door and lets you keep knocking. But honest self-reflection, that's what hands you the key. So if you're pouring your heart into something right now and it feels like the world is ignoring you, don't just ask how to be seen. Ask how to be useful. Stop performing for the algorithm, the boss, the audience, the crowd, and start genuinely serving one real person. Because the world doesn't reward the loudest voice in the room. It rewards the one who finally stops talking and starts listening. Your 201st attempt might be the one that changes your entire life, but only if you're willing to make it different from the 200 that came before it. So let me ask you something before you go. What's your 201st attempt? What's the thing you've been about to give up on? And what would happen if instead of quitting, or instead of just trying harder, you stopped and asked, how do I make this actually matter to someone? If this story moved you, if it hit a little too close to home, do me a favor. Don't quit on attempt 199. Reflect, adjust, and show up again. And if you want more stories like this, real lessons for anyone building something from nothing, subscribe and stick around. Because every video on this channel is made for one reason, to help you keep going. I'll see you in the next one.